Hi everyone, this Saturday driving instructors are okay to go back to work. This is Saturday the 4th of July, but there are going to have to be plenty of changes that driving instructors are going to have to implement to manage risk, and in this video we're quickly going to look at it. Guidance on what driving instructors are going to have to do isn't going to come from, as far as we know, the Driving and Vehicle Standards Agency or the people who run the test. It's actually come from combined thoughts from the three main driving instructor associations in the country, and together they've formed the National Association Strategic Partnership, or NASP. And it's these organisations who have provided the best advice and the best guidance for us driving instructors. So one of the first things that you're going to have to converse with your instructor about is whether yourself or anyone that you've been in contact with has had any symptoms of COVID-19. This probably is going to be done with a conversation either by text or even calling your pupil or speaking to your driving instructor, depends on which way you're sitting, to talk about this. If there has been any contact or you are displaying symptoms, these lessons shouldn't be happening. Before your lesson, you must wash your hands before you actually come out to the car. Now, I would also advise the driving instructor meeting the pupil outside of the car or even at their front door to make sure this has happened. And if it hasn't, maybe hand sanitizer is the other option if you haven't washed your hands, but your hands have got to be clean. Before even entering the car, it's going to be vital that you have some conversation at a socially acceptable distance with your driving instructor about whether or not the lesson should go ahead. If you're feeling unwell at all, or if you've picked up any symptoms even over the prior 24 hours to your lesson, don't continue with it. You can always do your lesson another day. We need to keep safe, people. If you want to wear masks or gloves, that would be fine. This is something that needs to be discussed with your instructor. It's not compulsory at the moment unless the DVSA are going to change their mind on it, as we've received very little guidance from them. But it may be that you live in a household where people live with you who are maybe a little more vulnerable and you wish to wear a mask. Your driving instructor should be able to accommodate this, but what I would suggest is not relying on your driving instructor to provide these masks for you, or gloves. Bring your own. Although I've heard conflicting reports on this next piece of guidance, I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm not going to come up with any opinion on any of these pieces of guidance because I'm no health professional. All I'm going to do is follow the rules the best way I can. But the NASP have advised driving instructors and pupils to wear appropriate clothing. That doesn't mean short sleeves, maybe long sleeves. Make sure you're wearing long trousers or garments that are going to cover your legs as well. Although, like I said, I've heard reports that the transmission through these parts of your arms isn't necessarily going to happen. But there is another important factor with all of this regarding covering your skin, is even if you've got gloves, after you've touched something in the car, don't then go off and touch your face. So try to leave your hands on the steering wheel and on the controls of the car and do everything you can not to touch. Your driving instructor should be informing you and reassuring you that all touchable surfaces are going to be cleaned and wiped before you get in the car. So they should be done in between each lesson. If you're not sure about that, ask. And if you're still not sure, again, don't put yourself at any risk. Driving instructors should be really professional with this situation. There are a couple of things that you can do while you're on your lessons to make sure you're going to be as risk-free as possible. First thing is to drive with your window down. It doesn't have to be fully down, but if you've got some fresh air circulating, apparently that reduces risk. And if you are going to use the air conditioning, try and make certain that it's not on recirculation. If it's not on recirculation, it's going to be drawing fresher air from the outside in. For the time being as well on your lessons, if you ever take anyone with you, friends, family, guardian, not sure, they shouldn't really be coming on your lessons at this point, because that extra person in the car just increases the risk. I know it's rude not to look at people when you're speaking to them, but a little bit of advice on your lessons as well is to be not facing your instructor, or instructor shouldn't be facing your pupil when talking. This again reduces risk. Any training aid that you're going to be using on your lesson, like maybe a toy car or even an iPad, should not be passed between you and your instructor. If it is, they need to be wiped down thoroughly first. Any communication or any notes that you have on your lessons should be trying to be sent electronically. Perhaps try out my app that I'm going to leave a link to in the description. There is a way of actually scanning the code so you can have all the information from your lesson if you've got the mobile app also, so check that out. At the end of the lesson, when it comes to paying for the driving lesson, try not to pay in cash. Try and pay electronically. If your instructor hasn't got a payment machine, literally send it through an app on your phone. Simple. So once you're out the car, once you're back in your house, first thing you're going to do is wash your hands again, because you may very well have picked up some infection from the car. Don't then go off and take it back into your household. And I would also advise getting your clothes washed. You never know, you can't be too safe in this climate. I hope that helps. It may even help some driving instructors who haven't seen that guidance from NASP as of yet. So if that's you, apply that to all your lessons, and all pupils, enjoy getting back in the car, because I know it's been a long time. There's many of you out there who have missed your lessons. So get back into it. Trust me as well, it's like riding a bike. It won't take you too long before you're back up to speed. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all soon.